Today is Monday in the 24th week of the ordinary time. This day is important, like part of what happened on Sunday. One virtue came out prominently, which also we find in the attitude to forgiveness. But the center of my message today is for our own good and for our own contemplation. Let us look at the attitude that releases blessings. The attitude that releases blessings. We'll find out today that despite the fact that the centurion, the person in the context of the gospel reading, is a man of honor, it's a man of dignity, it's a man that had the wealth. It's a man you could say he had life and things working for him. He himself defined himself and his portfolio. One, he is a man under authority. He has soldiers under him, about 100 soldiers. He's a commander of a brigade of army. Therefore, he enjoys authority, he enjoys the recognition of the state, he enjoys social protection, he enjoys wealth, and yet a number of things marked him out. He has an attitude. That attitude is the attitude that he recognizes values in human beings, the place of God and the place of people. In the first place, a slave in the Jewish environment, like a servant, but less than a servant, like a worker, but less than a worker. A slave is a property to the master. A slave has no right. A slave can be treated like nothing. A slave may even get sick and not be given attention. When a master does that, he has not committed a crime by the definition and understanding of attitude to slaves. Nevertheless, slaves are human beings, though by social status with lesser regard or value. This centurion has a slave. This centurion valued the slave. This centurion saw the slave sick, according to Luke chapter 7, 4, 5. The slave was sick. He desired the slave to be alive. The life of the slave mattered to him. He struggled to get the slave cured through some other medical means, traditional means, and found out that all in all, cure could not be secured, and the slave was dying. And the Bible said he heard about Jesus. He heard about Jesus. In verse 3, when he heard about Jesus, he didn't disregard things about Jesus. He gave it a consideration. He was a man under military authority, had a lot of military authority, powers, and also political relevance in the society. But he heard about Jesus. He had time for necessary news, good news at that. He had the good news about Jesus, and he thought about it. He then got back to himself. Having heard about Jesus, he told himself, as you will see around verse 6, part of why he sent the elders was not because the elders could just be at his service, no. It was not defining his status, no. It was rather defining his attitude. Status can make somebody very arrogant, but attitude reverses it. The attitude of the man was, this man I heard about him is so good, so holy, so powerful. I'm not worthy to go. So let me find the elders in the society. Perhaps it's important to also stress that he could have not only approached the elders, given them something, solicited and persuaded them to go on his behalf. The elders, having known him, accepted. And the elders went to Jesus and gave some other definition of the centurion. He built our synagogue. He is a good man. He is a nice man. from the attitude of the centurion, you will also discover he was a nice man. He considered the life of the slave, made every effort. He could have gotten other slaves to replace this one if it doesn't this one, do away with this one and get other ones, replace them. Like the people of power and authority of our world who kill young people, hire them for talks, destroy the society, destroy everybody, making sure that nobody lives. But this one has regard for the slave. The value of the life of the slave meant a lot to him. The text of today speaks to every class of people. It speaks to the high, it speaks to the low, it speaks